Ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Breaking Bells. What is up, everybody? Bobby here, the Nintendo Guru, and we got quite a bit of news today out of Nintendo Wire. They're basically pulling an article, an interview with the game developers of Animal Crossing New Horizons. French outlet Game Cult managed to sit down and break down an interview, so I wanted to kind of dissect this interview the best of my abilities and kind of discuss how I feel about some of the answers they give, as well as some of the questions that we have here. So let's just jump into this right away. Starts off, they ask, you have unfortunately had to announce the delay of the game during the Nintendo Direct. What is the delay to? And then I responds to this this interviewer, with the Animal Crossing franchise, we want players to experience the game as long as possible, well beyond a single year. We do not want to rush things, to ensure that everything was in place. That is why we're going to take a little bit longer than expected. Unfortunately, I know we have disappointed some fans as a result of this announcement, but we want to make sure that everything is ready for the game to be fun at the time of the release. So let's start with the first thing. They want to make sure that the game is pretty much playable beyond a year. Most Animal Crossing games, when you complete the game 1 year cycle, if you're really hungry and you're going after this thing and really playing as much as possible, a year and you're done. You'll have unlocked pretty much everything you need to. But with this new game coming and all the customizability and all that stuff that they're adding to this game, it tells me that they're trying to push this game deeper than a year, which I am all for. I don't know, though, that I can seriously put in the time I did in previous iterations longer. So for me, it was always, gotta get all the bugs, gotta get all the fish, gotta get all the fossils. Then, once that's all done, then we start collecting furniture series and decorating the house and paying off the loans and all that stuff. This feels like it's going to be different. We just found out a couple days ago that you're going to start with two villagers, and those two villagers are going to kind of be like where you could put the houses or the tents wherever you want, and those two villagers kind of are stuck with you, and they'll leave on their own, but you can't force them out or anything like that. As in, like other games, you could try to do things to manipulate and get them to leave. This game, they're with you in the long haul, and what it is, and so it feels like they're basically trying to push the narrative of this game to be one that lasts a long time. How long, I'm not really sure, and I don't think anybody can properly answer that question at this point, but if they want to go beyond a year, it sounds like that's the game plan from Nintendo. And I'm wondering if, because as you'll hear later on in the article, they have other things planned. I'm wondering if these plans to push it deeper are including of DLC and all that other stuff, so time will tell ultimately on this. Next question up is, in New Horizons, you introduced the Nook phone. Do you also plan a dedicated application in real life to synchronize exchanges? So basically what they're asking is, you know, are you going to have it set up where I could use my real phone in order to do some of these things or not? Is there going to be an app where for the phone it's going to be able to synchronize the two? Aya comes back and says, we want to make sure that everyone can play without making this kind of companion app necessary to enjoy the experience. That's why we prefer to avoid making it a prerequisite. That being said, we will take advantage of the Nintendo Switch online application of voice chat, and we are also planning other things for the future throughout this. So again, they're looking at this and they're saying like, okay, this is what we have. This is what it's going to be at the start. We don't want you to have to buy a bunch of things or download a bunch of things or have all these other things to taint the experience. We don't want you to have Animal Crossing Pocket Camp or Animal Crossing New Leaf or Happy Home Designer, all these different things in order to make your experience better. We want you to start off with the game. This is what the game is. There will be a couple things like voice chat through the phone. And if anybody that has ever played Mario Kart or Splatoon 2, you do realize that the phone app, although that's not the preferred way that I would like to speak with people, I would prefer to use Discord or something like that. The phone app is not the worst solution that Nintendo has come up with in terms of it's kind of cool the way it works. Example, if I'm playing Mario Kart and someone within the race has their chat app on, my phone will ping and tell me that, like, hey, there's people in the voice chat section of this app. Do you want to go and chat with them, or would you just prefer to stay out of it? That's number one. The other thing is, with Splatoon 2, when you have a situation where it pulls people off to do different voice chat options. Example, you set up a match, right? And you have 8 friends. You and 7 other people are playing in a match that you guys set up. What happens is, if you're all in the phone app, the minute the match starts, the phone app designates and knows immediately that 1, 2, 3, 4 are over in this room, and 1, 2, 3, 4 over in this room, and we're going to pair them up. So what happens is, you start the match, or pre-match, there's 8 of you in the room, you're all talking together, and then when the match starts, it pulls you apart so that the 4 and 4 can play with each other, and then when the match is over, it comes back together. Kind of interesting to think that you'll have a thing where if someone comes into your town, you'll be able to talk to them. The minute they leave and someone else comes in, this person would be moved out, and this person would be moved in. Again, not the best. I would prefer a party chat system where I could talk to anybody at any time within. We know that the abilities are within the Switch. We know that you don't have to use the phone app. Just look at Fortnite. Just look at some of the other games that are coming to Switch. The ability is there. So hopefully at some point Nintendo just backs off of this and says you don't have to use the phone. We'll see, but time will tell. But also, it's kind of curious that they're saying, like, in the future we might take advantage of some phone applications. Maybe we'll implement something into that. What I would like to see is perhaps some exclusive items that you can buy via the phone app, very similar to how Splatoon is, where I can buy things offline, and then when I go on the game, I could pick those items up. That would be kind of neat to say, like, hey, there's an axe you really want, and it's available to purchase right now at 2:00 in the afternoon while you're at work, or you're out shopping, or you're wherever, you're out to lunch with some friends. You could buy it and then go into the game and pick it up from the store. That would be pretty interesting to see that happen. Don't know if that would be a possibility, but it would be kind of cool to have like an online shopping, like an Amazon type thing for Animal Crossing. Be pretty cool, I think. So we'll see. Next question they ask is, do you plan to take advantage of the touchscreen and feature customizable items? Aya comes back with, we wanted to make sure that New Horizons uses many features of the Nintendo Switch, both portably and docked. When users play in docked mode, we want them to make it easier for them to handle a traditional game method. To answer your customization question more specifically, there are many design elements borrowed from New Leaf that will be in New Horizons. And then they also follow up and say, in summary, we designed the gameplay for a classic grip, meaning a Pro Controller or however, a controller of sorts. There will also be elements of the touch design. So basically what they're saying is like, listen, we made this thing to be with your Pro Controller. Your Pro Controller is the optimal, the best way to play with this game. But, by the way, we are also going to have it where you can, play in the touchscreen functionality and that way. Like New Leaf, you could control and do things. You could customize with the stylus and the touchscreen. This would be awesome if we could do this. If we can design and make patterns utilizing the touchscreen rather than the controller, sign me up. It would be fantastic, honestly, because it would make things so much easier for everybody involved. So we'll see how that all works out moving forward. The next question is, and this is kind of important, and we're going to get into this one a little bit. With the advent of cloud saves and automatic backups, how will you handle Mr. Rossetti interventions? And basically, they're coming back with New Horizons will not be compatible with cloud backups to avoid manipulating time, which remains one of the founding concepts of the series. So, for people that are new to the series, for people that don't know, there is this function within Animal Crossing called time traveling. You can either go backwards or forwards. There are things that will happen when you do that. You could get a multitude of weeds. Immediately, the minute you time travel, all your turnips that you might have are dead. They all disappear. That being said, there's a lot of people that are upset that cloud saves are not within this. And I think what Nintendo is trying to do is to cut back on the cheating. Every version of Animal Crossing has had some sort of cheating within it, whether it be duping, which is pretty much manipulating the way you do things of online to basically create multiples of items. Meaning, let me explain this, how this works. So there was a way in New Leaf where if I wanted to come to your town and give you an item, what I would do is I would drop the item, and then as I'm getting ready to leave, you shut off your Wi-Fi at a certain area. Now what that would do is that would kick me out completely. I would go restart my town and everything, and your town would kind of get a restart as well. And then basically, and I'm paraphrasing because it's been a while since I've done this, but what'll happen is both parties will get the item and everything is what it is. So it's a manipulation thing where you're duping items. You're filling your pockets with an item, you go to leave, you hit the Wi-Fi, it kicks you out. When you restart, you still have the items. They didn't lose the items, the person that kicked you out. So ultimately, it's an interesting thing that, to me, it's what Nintendo is trying to avoid. They're trying to avoid the manipulation where people can cheat and get all the items right away. They could time travel through, get all the items, go back, save, and it seems like they haven't left, but they really have left. It's hard to say whether I agree or not. I am a person that when I played New Leaf, I messed up my file transfer from one 3DS to a new 3DS. And I lost 300 hours worth of Animal Crossing and had to start over from the scratch, from the get. I did this and I enjoyed it, and I came back and put another 600 hours into Animal Crossing. So luckily for me, I was not that deep in, but man, it frustrated me to lose all those fish, to lose all that money, to lose everything, to lose all my save data. That being said, I think that Nintendo should figure out a way around this. You are offering people the ability to do cloud saves if they pay for your online service, but then ultimately you pull that back and only allow it for certain games. Splatoon 2 doesn't offer it. Pokemon doesn't offer it. And it's like these bigger games that you would think would have it just don't have it. So for me, I go, listen, Nintendo, if someone wants to cheat, let them cheat. It doesn't take away from my game. My game is pure in what it is, and I don't want to take the chance of losing what I have because some idiot is going to cheat the system. Let them cheat the system. Who cares if they're time traveling and they're getting all the items before everybody else? It means nothing. People in the Animal Crossing community, they recognize and they understand when someone is time traveling, their game is tainted to us. There is a pureness of the game that we don't allow, and we don't want time travel added to our system. We don't want to do it. We don't want to risk it. We don't want to take those chances. If that's the case and that's the way we're viewing it, you should just let this happen, because I would rather you allow someone to time travel and manipulate and get all the items and let them destroy their fun and they'll be out of the system within a couple of months than to have me mistakenly lose everything. Losing my save data is a gut-wrenching experience, especially when you're putting in triple-digit hours. That is crazy to think that I could legitimately play this game for 300, 400, 500 hours and like that, lose it all. And I would hope that you would rectify this problem and fix it. God knows that we want this to be fixed. There's enough people saying to fix it that I would pray that it's some way in an update. If you look at it and see how people are playing the game, because you got the data, you can see how people are playing the games. Look at it, analyze the data, and fix this. It's just something that needs to be fixed. And me personally, I want to see it fixed just because I did lose a town in New Leaf, and I would hate to lose a town in this, especially with all the customization that goes into this, the paths, the building, the patterns, everything you're going to allow. All the taking it from nothing up to what it is would really truly stink if I was to lose everything. Please. Even if it's a matter of you allow me to save it on my computer, I'd be fine with that. If I had to do a physical backup every single day, I'd be fine with that. But you tell me I can't do that and I can't get cloud saves is not okay with me. So please, let's fix that. Final part of this interview and this is the part that gets me excited. Seriously. We go, can you confirm that Animal Crossing New Horizons will be compatible with Amiibo? And so here we go with Aya coming back and saying, given the number of cards and figures available, we obviously think New Horizons will be compatible with Amiibo, but I cannot tell you more about the compatibility at this stage of development. This is awesome. This is awesome. This is something I'm excited about. I've said this in numerous things. I don't need cards or Amiibo available day one. This is something I can wait for. This is something that maybe I have to unlock later on down the line. But I would love the ability that if I start playing this game and some of my favorite villagers aren't there, that I could maybe pull them in. It would be amazing to be able to pull those characters into my town and to build my town around the people the characters that I love in this game. This is the first time that they've acknowledged that there's a possibility of Amiibo, and it's something that I've been saying for a while. They have so much invested between cards and figures that are out there still, that you go into GameStop today and there are still Amiibo figures on the shelves. You go to Five Below and you can find cards everywhere. So it is something that hopefully two things I would like. I would love for them to allow for cards to come back and maybe reprints and reissues, because it would basically take the crazy market that is out there right now for Amiibo cards, kind of lower it a little bit to be within range and reason. And then two, maybe they'll add some more cards as well. Maybe they'll add a fifth series that'll basically give you characters and animals that aren't in the first four. It would be pretty cool if they did that. I would be excited for that, honestly. So that is all. Thank you guys for watching and listening to this episode of Breaking Bells. I hope you enjoyed this breakdown. This is going to be a wild ride till March 20th, and I am excited for things like this and getting interviews like this and talking about it. But I want to know, of this interview, what gets you hyped up for this Animal Crossing game? Are you happy about the Amiibo? Are you not happy about cloud saves? Where do you fall within all this stuff? Please let me know in the comments down below. You can follow me Instagram, Twitter, at Nintendo Gurus. As well, please rate this podcast 5 stars, leave a review. I would appreciate that wholeheartedly. Also, go to YouTube, give it a thumbs up, keep on pushing through, and that is all. Peace out, Preston.